Hey folks, thanks for tuning in to my YouTube channel. I'm relatively new to the YouTube community, so bear with me as I learn the ropes. Well, I've watched many of you guys over the years, but this is my first time actually trying to make some videos. So I'm a long-time comic book collector, and one of the things I occasionally do is submit books for autograph signings, to third-party facilitators like NY Comics. This was a batch of 6 that I submitted for a Todd McFarlane signing early in the year, and they're just coming back from CGC, yellow labeled signature series. So I just wanted to show off these books. First book is Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate appearance, All-Star Squadron 47. This is some early Todd McFarlane work from 1985. I picked up this book for like $10 about a year ago, and I was like, you know what? At some point, I want to get this graded because I knew that it was early McFarlane work. I wasn't necessarily into All Star Squadron, but I thought this was a good book to have just because it was kind of like at the beginning, and it came back a great grade for $10, 9.8 white pages, and you could see some of McFarlane's pencils right here off the bat, in the cape and this green dude here in the right hand corner. But I thought this was a nice book to add to my collection. Next book here is Batman 423. This is an awesome cover. I don't know where it's rated as far as Batman covers, being that there's so many, but I love it. I love the cape. I love the bats that are floating in front of the big yellow moon there. Came back with a nice yellow autograph. Also like the little McFarlane there, the Batman logo. So I was happy to have this book in my collection. 9.6 white pages. And plus, McFarlane didn't really do too many Batman covers. I think there's another 2 or 3. One was like a Detective Comics as well, but this is the one that people know him for as far as the Batman covers. Next book that was in the batch is Incredible Hulk number 340. This is perhaps the most recognized book of what McFarlane did in the early 80s with the Incredible Hulk, primarily because Wolverine is there. But it's a fantastic cover, and it's signed by Todd McFarlane there on the claws, writer Peter David, and Stan the Man Lee. 9.2 white pages. This book, as well as many of these books, they're from 1988, so we're talking 27 years ago now. Another Incredible Hulk book, Incredible Hulk 345. This is one of my all-time favorite covers, not just McFarlane, but comic covers in general. I mean, I love the purple cover. I love the top, and the purple cover is the reason why it's so difficult to get this in a 9.8. But I love the fact that Hulk takes over the entire cover, top to bottom, left to right. I love the graffiti block letters that he's busting through there. And then also the words "Incredible" at his feet. Signed by Todd McFarlane and Stan Lee. We're supposed to have Peter David on this as well, but there was a minor snafu. Also love the character headbusts that McFarlane would always do in the left-hand corners. Those were great. And personal preference for me as far as collecting is concerned, I always will go for one of these copies over the newsstand because this just looks so much better than the barcode. Next book is The Amazing Spider-Man 311. A beautiful cover here with Mysterio and Spider-Man, and you see him, through the reflection of Mysterio's bulb. Todd McFarlane, David Michelini autograph. Other cool thing was that this was a double cover book, so it was 2 grades actually. First cover graded at 9.4, and then the interior cover at 9.8. And it's the interior cover that has the overall standing grade on the book. So this one also thought the double cover was pretty cool. Next book is one of my all-time favorites, probably one of the prized possessions in my collection. I remember getting this book about 15 years ago, Amazing Spider-Man 300, and I could not be happier with the grade. 9.8 white pages, triple signed by Todd McFarlane, David Michelini, and Stan the Man Lee. Some people will sometimes ask, well, what did you get Stan to sign some of these books for? He had nothing to do with them. And, one, it's Stan Lee, so that's sufficient for me. And 2, you know, he co-created Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk, and so having his signature on a key book like this makes sense to me because he is one of the people who are responsible for the character's existence. But I love this book, and I'm very happy to have it in my collection. You know, with this beautiful yellow label, and that was it that I submitted for these for this particular signing. I do have one more book that I want to share. That it was also Todd McFarlane, but I did this one last year. I thought since I was showing these off, I would show this one as well. This was the first book that I got autographed by Todd. You see it right there in the middle. And this is some of his early work as well. 1987, Todd McFarlane, Art Begins in the Incredible Hulk run. So this is a 9.8 with white pages, and it's my Todd McFarlane collection there. So I appreciate you taking the time to tune in. Please follow me on Twitter as well, at Herc Collects Comics. I'll be doing more videos, so please feel free to subscribe and also like this video. I have an interest in comic books, CGC comics, Treasury comic books. I look forward to doing a video on Treasury comics and maybe introduce that beautiful comic book medium to people in the community who might not be familiar with it. So stick around. I appreciate you taking the time to tune in.